I called it work-life grace.
Hmm.
And so, yes, I did go into it with no cheat days back then. And I've also learned in through my business and also through having children, and navigating all the different, aspects of my life is that I do have to give myself grace. Not
Yeah.
every day is going to be perfect. Some days I'm going to fall off the
Hmm.
wagon or the cheat, whatever, or the discipline. And I also get to give myself grace. And sometimes I need to put my oxygen mask on first. There's times when I'll, pick my kids up from school, we'll get home and I'll be like, hey guys, I need 10 minutes. Mom's going to go lay down for 10 or 20.
Yeah.
And that gives me time to recharge. And they're like, okay. And just having that communication, I communicate with them, but mostly I started communicating with myself and going, listen, when I look back on my day, what didn't work today, and
Hmm.
not beat myself up on it, and what worked today and end on a celebration so that I can feel good about stepping into the next day and hitting the ground running again.
Yeah. So you're a champion.
I love that song, The Champion
You're a
by,
champion.
yeah, I love that song.
It's the way champions are. They're their own biggest critics. Okay. That is big. And it makes you a better coach because you recognize it, right? You recognize the fact that it has to be good enough. You're going to give it everything you've got, and it has to be good enough, right?
Mhm.
It's not going to be perfect, and we're going to do the best we can do. Let's just go make a mess and see what we learn, right?
Right. We can always grab a broom,
Exactly.
right?
Right. And a dustpan and whatever.
Exactly. And start
Okay,
over.
so at some point you decide to become a coach. Talk about that mindset for a second, because there are people that are listening to this that are going to want to be just like you when they grow up, including me. So,
Right.
can you talk about that for a second?
Absolutely. So my journey is different than many entrepreneurs stepping into entrepreneurship. It's interesting. So I remember being in college, and one of this gentleman I knew back then, we were friends, and I ran into him again. We reconnected years later, and he said, you always said you were going to be an entrepreneur, and I
Mhm.
never knew how that would happen, but I always knew it inside of me, like I had that entrepreneurial spirit. And I guess with my personal training, it started out, that was a little piece of it, and insight into it. Before I got married, I did have a little business with baby item products. It was a Swarovski crystal line, and I had a business partner. It was something really small,